Hi guys, welcome to Drum Dog, and this week we are messing around with triplets. So as some of you guys who watch the channel may know, I love timey-wimey stuff when we take something that's supposed to be in groups of 3 and we force it into groups of 4, and something that's supposed to be a 4 and force it into a 3. It's just a really interesting way of coming up with really fresh sounding things from older patterns. So one of those scenarios that works the best and has a particularly cool sound to it is when we take triplets and we play them in groups of 4. Okay, so say we've got our regular 8th note triplets, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, so it's going to be 12 notes in a bar. And all I'm going to do is play those same 12 notes, but instead of accenting groups of 3, I'm going to accent them in groups of 4. So instead of 4 3s, we get 3 4s. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. You can straight away hear the kind of cross rhythm that we get through that. And there's a whole load of ways that we can apply this on the kit to a really fresh sounding and interesting result. So first things first, let's just take that pattern as a single stroke roll to the kit as a nice steady fill on the snare. Now, although it's only a single stroke roll, just the coordination of putting the accents in those places where they're not falling on the quarter notes, and we kind of get one on the quarter note, then one just after it, then one just before it, does take a second to adjust to. But once you feel confident with that, and it feels all right throwing that around without kind of losing track of where the 1 is, let's start to get a little bit more adventurous with our orchestration, and let's let that right hand wander around to the toms as well. Now, as you see me do this, you'll notice sometimes I'm adding in a little left hand accent, because one thing that can really make this phrase sound a little bit extra cool is to add in the little leading note as an accent. So if we were playing this just as a group of 4, we would have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. But in this context, we get our 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Which again is still just single strokes, accent, non-accent, non-accent, accent, accent. But in this particular context, it quickly becomes a bit of a head scratcher. So already just at taking it that far, we've got a whole load of vocabulary that we can throw around with that kit to make for a slightly spicy sounding fill in just a regular triplet context. But this isn't only applicable in fills. We can also chuck this in as a really snazzy hat accent during a groove. So let's say we're in our shuffle context, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. What we're going to do is we're going to change to a single stroke roll between the hats and the snare. Our snare is just going to be pulling out our backbeats. So we're going to get a 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. But our right hand is going to be picking out our groups of 4, just as kind of an accented 8th note. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now, I especially like it in that context because you can hear the groups of 4 being picked out on the hats, but the backbeat on the snare really keeps us grounded in our regular triplet context. Now, once you played around with these examples a few times, you get a feel for where those accents land inside of it, and at that point we can start to get a little bit freer with how we're getting to these in terms of stickings, and we can open up our stickings and orchestrations to just pick out these accents however we feel we can in a nice creative manner. So once we've got those accents dialed in, we can really start to kind of stretch them around the kit and find different ways of pulling out the same rhythm. All about those 3 groups of 4, not 4 groups of 3. So much more confusing to say than it is to play. So there we go, it's another one of my favourite little licks and concepts that I wanted to share with you guys. And those are just a couple ways how you can use it, but as with anything, get creative, find your own ways to throw this around the kit because it's always a rabbit hole of possibilities. I really hope you guys enjoyed this lesson, and if you want to check out more lessons like this, then please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you again soon.